Hi, Wolfpack fans. I'm Jeff Grabley.
I'm Tony Haynes.
And I'm Matt Chasnow.
And this is Pulse of the Pack.
I'm Tony Haynes, along with the voice of the Wolfpack, Matt Chasnow, working through his first season of NC State football, now basketball. We're closing in on Thanksgiving. On the football side of things, we know what that means. Closing out the regular season against the arch rival Tar Heels. We've been playing better of late, and we now know that'll be a 3:30 game on that Saturday when we get there, and so we always look forward to that. But also the men's and women's hoops teams are in the process of figuring out who they are. What is your identity? And it's harder to find an identity these days because you have so many new players on your squad, particularly the men's team at NC State. But with a lopsided win over Colgate on Monday night, I think we saw a Wolfpack team that maybe is moving closer to finding that identity, but certainly played their best basketball of the season. You want to be able to walk away from most of these games early in the season and ask yourself this question: are we getting better? And I think Kevin Keats can look at his coaches after that game against Colgate and say, yeah, we got better in that game.
It's exactly what Coach Keats said at walkthrough before the Colgate game. He said the first 3 ball games were against 3 opponents who had strengths, but also had some deficiencies, and Colgate would be the best team that they would have played to date. And initially that was obvious. They were clearly a crisp operation. 6-2 after the under-16 timeout, couple of turnovers feeding the post. You could see Matt Langle, the Colgate coach, who's the winningest coach in their school's history, had tried to deny entry to Huntley Hatfield and was good at it. For a couple possessions there, he forced a couple turnovers. It was a little alarming. And then a 17-0 run, which then Colgate answered. It was 19-10, and then a 15-3 run, and that was ball game. And it was the first time in a few years, in fact, the Pack held a team under 50 points. I don't think there's any doubt that they got better in that game.
Yeah, the men's team are moving in the right direction, and now you go to Westmore's women's basketball team, and they're going to play a difficult schedule every year, and they should, because as a program, they've had so much success. He understands that when you're a good team and they're picked to finish second in the ACC, it doesn't do you a lot of good to play a weak non-conference schedule. His players want to compete, and they want to compete against the best. And already they have played South Carolina, the very best program in women's college basketball. And they went to TCU, a tough road trip, and lost a tough ball game. But long term, those are the games that team need to play to kind of sharpen things as they move forward into ACC play. And it did them well last year. You know, they entered the season, they were unranked. Then they had a couple of big wins over nationally ranked teams, including UConn. Before you know it, they're in the top 10. But those are the games I think are partly responsible for making them a Final Four worthy team, a team that can make a run through the tournament. And I think that Westmore is looking at his scheduling again this year and say, what do we need to do to make sure when we get to early March that we're that team again that gets in the big dance and is a threat.
I just want to say Coach Moore never fails to let us know that he's been coaching longer than most of us have been alive. So we love him, man. He knows exactly what he's talking about.
Oh my God. Let's start with Coach Moore. He was always on me in my first year. I really didn't like it, always. Matter of fact, he's still on me today. We're gonna say it right now, he's still on me till today. But our bond is like no other. You know, I wouldn't pick no other coach to play for.
I'm just glad that he's led us as far as we could come, and I'm glad that he's recruited coaching staff around him to also lead us in the direction we still want to go.
People ask me what's the key, and I say surround yourself with great people. And you start with Nikki West, been with me 19 years.
You can't tell the people how I'm your favorite and not Coach Kevin?
Yeah, guys, Coach Nikki's my favorite.
Your favorite, Maddie, told everybody that I was her favorite.
You're her favorite?
Yeah, over Coach Kevin.
Good.
Yeah, I didn't prompt her.
Obviously the post coaches, Coach Nikki, Coach Kevin, they do a really good job with us, really holding us accountable.
Come on, y'all, you gotta buy in, you gotta buy in. Everybody Everybody take note. Everybody take note.
You know, they don't tell me what I want to hear. That's what I love about this program. They get you where you need to be and not where you want to be.
Listen, look the score, baby. Look the score. You had a layup. Okay, Lindsay. Okay. Good job.
They just bring so many different personalities to the group.
Hi, my name's Coach Nikki. What's your name?
Zamaria.
Zamaria who? Oh, we had a player like that at our practice before. You're getting after it on both ends. Good job.
Coach Kev, he's kind of like the uncle, like the cool uncle. He's really fun to be around and but he's tough on you when he needs to be. Coach Ash and Coach Britt are like the little fun aunties. And KJ's our first cousin. That's just what NC State gives. It's a family environment. They're here to help you, and it's no selfishness. It's all about support and team and winning.
Yeah, Coach Brittany, I think that she helps me the most. You know, we spend a lot of time on and off the court just writing down goals, and we shoot extra all the time.
I like having people that I know and that I trust and that I know are good people. It's a great group. You love seeing people stick with you, and the players, they know who's going to be there.
Pulse of the Pack is sponsored in part by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Sam, since this is your first Get Holiday Ready sales event, let me introduce you to the full lineup of Ford SUVs. Keep it festive, Morgan.
How fun.
That's Blake and Bailey. They're our Bronco experts.
Goat Modes goes over any type of terrain.
And of course, Ford F-Series, best-selling trucks for 47 years. The Get Holiday Ready sales event.
Chills.
Get 1.9 for 60 plus up to $6,500 total savings on a 2024 Ford F-150 Hybrid.
Mr. Wolf, you're all set. Complete perimeter protection installed and monitored 24/7.
No matter who you root for, we can all identify with the best in smart home security. CPI Security is the official security and smart home company of NC State Athletics. CPI Security. Identify yourself.
From protecting your teeth and gums, to restoring your smile, to sponsoring your local team, Tar Heel Periodontics is the premier periodontal practice of the Triangle community. Our team of highly skilled doctors provide dental care as individual as you are, working with you to build a personalized treatment plan to create the beautiful, healthy smile of your dreams. With offices conveniently located across the Triangle and Central North Carolina, you're never far from the Tar Heel Periodontics family. Visit our website or call now.
This segment of Pulse of the Pack is presented by Coca-Cola.
See, look, I told you, I kept it short today.
Oh, Zam, you don't know nothing yet.
For real? It be long?
Bro.
That is not true.
She told me it's 20, it be 40.
That is not true. That's 20 of her.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right, here we go. I'm Ashley Williams. I'm an assistant women's basketball coach with NC State women's basketball. I grew up, a fan of the Wolfpack and women's basketball and Coach K. Yao, and so it was my dream to come here. So then when that actually came true, it was a pretty sweet dream that I was living. I would say I was like a blue-collar player. I was a good shooter, but I also, thought that I played with toughness. Thought that I tried to do things to help the team win.
All of the coaches are awesome, but a coach that has worn the uniform, she knows what we're going through every day.
They know that their shoes are hard to fill, but they've been there.
I think that it really helps. Not only did I play, but I played here. And not only did I play here, but I played for Coach Moore.
Being an industrial engineer major, what was Coach's reaction when you told him that you wanted to get into coaching?
I'm surprised you guys haven't already heard this story, because I've heard it a million times. I think, I guess my senior year, I came in there and told the assistants and Coach Moore, hey, I think I would like to try to get into coaching.
Thought she was really smart, 3.9 in engineering at NC State. That's pretty good. And then she comes in and tells me she decided she wants to go into coaching, and I'm like, well, you blew that. I thought you were smart. But anyway, it's worked out pretty good for her.
I think I definitely have the blue collar in me still as a coach. I try to be somebody that I challenge our players and can get on them 1 minute, and then I'm also their biggest cheerleader. And just gotta be meaningful with our cuts. Gotta cut hard, curl hard.
Take advantage of every time you're on defense. I've known Coach Ashley since I started my recruitment. She's played a good role of just keeping my confidence up.
She wants to help players develop their game.
Attack that closeout. Okay. And that's just the difference of good shot versus great shot.
I love Coach Ash. She's probably the coach I'm closest with. She's been here for me since I got here.
I like how you worried more about your man than that pick. People that have been a part of this women's basketball program, they either stay or they come back.
That's kind of loyalty we're talking about. And again, I knew she was smart, knew she was a really hard worker, passionate about what she does.
And so I've been blessed. Yes, it's a home feel, it's a community feel. We all the time pride ourselves on the culture here, the people here. We don't have bandwagon NC State fans. We are through and through. That's it. Good job. Let's be better.
Hello, Wolfpack fans. It's the season opener tonight at Reynolds Coliseum.
Fresh off its best season in 25 years, number 9 NC State opens up the home slate against ETSU out of the SoCon.
Unranked to the Final Four a year ago. It is, of course, a new team this year, but high expectations. Ranked number 9 in the AP poll in the preseason and picked second in the ACC.
103, 1, 2, 3, hey!
Here we go. Being a part of a team, being a part of this team is a privilege, okay? But it also carries with it responsibility. Everybody in this room has certain talents. It's like a company, it's like a church, it's like a team. And again, as we found a year ago, there's nothing like celebrating team success. And right now, it's not just about you, it's about this team. Let me just say, everybody in this room is going to help us this year. And we're counting on each of you to be ready every night and bring it. It starts tonight. Now, let's go do it. Together, 1, 2, 3.
Together,
go.
Season opener is exciting enough as it is, but it's a special night with the Final Four banner unveiling here in just a couple of minutes.
Just watching the banner go up opening night, it's going to be surreal. Just being etched into history, it's going to be amazing.
Now, please turn your attention to the Raptors.
Whew, Coach Yao, man. We're going to have a banner next to Coach Yao. Like, that's crazy. It's going to be an emotional night. Happy tears for sure. I know I'm going to cry. I can't speak for everyone else.
As we drop the first Final Four banner since 1998.
Oh my God, it feels so good to just be able to hang a banner here at NC State, the second only in the school history. That's not really easy to come off in college basketball.
Becoming just the 7th team to reach the Final Four after starting the season unranked.
The important thing is not to think that anything is impossible. I mean, obviously losing in South Carolina was a heartbreak, but that's something that I'm grateful to have because now we can look forward to something.
Sanaya Rivers wins the tip to Isaiah James.
Welcome to the 2024 basketball season.
I think there's more parity in the women's game now than there's ever been.
And there used to be.
And I bring that up because I had a conversation with the legendary Kay Yao many years ago. And we were talking about the status of women's basketball at that time. At that point, UConn was kind of dominating, and before that, it was Tennessee. And she compared it to the late 60s, early 70s, when it was UCLA and everybody else.
On the men's side.
Yes. Because UCLA won 7 straight national championships. They won 10 in a relatively short period of time. finally their 7 championship streak was snapped in 74 by NC State in Greensboro, as we know. But she said at that time that the women's game, it would take time, but we would see more parity. And that was, I remember she was such a brilliant, smart woman, and she really was. She was right. I mean, you went from Tennessee winning almost every year, then UConn winning every year. And it did remind you of the men's game when John Wooden and UCLA, they just run the table every season. And I think now, if you look at women's basketball and you get into March, it's a lot more unpredictable than it was back in those days.
No doubt about it.
All right, Mr. Wolf, you're all set. Complete perimeter protection installed and monitored 24/7.
No matter who you root for, we can all identify with the best in smart home security. CPI Security is the official security and smart home company of NC State Athletics. CPI Security. Identify yourself.
Years from now, what will you remember? That. It's a small thing, but you know the small things in life feel the biggest. I'm doing it, Dad! Now that is something to remember.
Sam, since this is your first Get Holiday Ready sales event, let me introduce you to the full lineup of Ford SUVs. Keep it festive, Morgan.
How fun!
That's Blake and Bailey. They're our Bronco experts.
Goat modes goes over any type of terrain.
And of course, Ford F-Series, best-selling trucks for 47 years. The Get Holiday Ready sales event.
Chills.
Get 1.9 for 60 plus up to $6,500 total savings on a 2024 Ford F-150 hybrid.
From protecting your teeth and gums, to restoring your smile, to sponsoring your local team, Tar Heel Periodontics is the premier periodontal practice of the Triangle community. Our team of highly skilled doctors provide dental care as individual as you are, working with you to build a personalized treatment plan to create the beautiful, healthy smile of your dreams. With offices conveniently located across the Triangle and Central North Carolina, you're never far from the Tar Heel Periodontics family. Visit our website or call now.
We've had a lot of fun this year doing Coach Dorn's radio show, Wolfpack Weekly with Dave Dorn, particularly when we have a chance to go out and do the live shows from Sports and Social and Cary, because they will bring players out there and we get to not only interview the players about football, but find out a little bit more about what makes them tick as people. Not just when you sit in the stands and you view these guys and they're wearing the helmet and the face mask, you don't really see their face, but they're human beings too, right? And so I've enjoyed going out Sports and Social this year, and we get a chance to joke around with the players. Most of them have a great personality, and that's enjoyable. But one guy who's kind of a serious young man is Brandon Cisse, the sophomore corner. He's very serious about being the best football player he can be. And you can tell when you're talking to him. He's got that kind of locked-in, stiff jaw, and he really is. Not that he doesn't have a great personality, but he's a very serious, tough, disciplined young man. And it's too bad for him that he's missed some time with the injury. But he was off to a great start this year. And one of the things that impressed me early on was his tackling ability. There have been a lot of great corners in the history of football, great cover corners that weren't fond of tackling.
No.
And this is a guy that has really taken to his coaching from his position coach, Brian Mitchel, very well. And he's also really benefited from the fact that last year, when he was a true freshman, he played behind two veteran guys in Shaheem Battle and Aiden White, and he's still playing alongside Aiden White, who has also been a mentor to him. And just really enjoyed chatting with Brandon Cisse when we had him out at the show.
Cisse was super candid. He said he didn't love to hit in high school.
No.
He said I thought I was a cover guy. And I had to talk to Coach Mitchell about learning the best technique, how to, frankly, embrace physicality.
It's another defensive star
in the making for the Pack's going to join us right here from Sports and Social. It is corner Brandon Cisse from Sumter, South Carolina. He was talking about the veterinarians there. Brandon, do you have a pet?
Nah, I plan on getting a dog, though. Plan on getting me a husky. So
nice.
Whenever it's time.
That'll be good. That'll be exciting news. So you were off to a fantastic start this year, and unfortunately you suffered an injury. Is there anything more frustrating for a football player, not only to get hurt, but get hurt in a season in which you were really off to a great start?
I think sometimes you definitely let it get to you a little bit, but I knew when it was my time to get back out there that I knew it was going to be just like picking off where I was at. So it wasn't too big. It was a little mental at first because I'd never been hurt in my whole high school, middle school, all those careers. So it was just good to get back out there and just have fun.
You've had 5 pass breakups this year. Take me through the knack for knocking the ball down. Some guys seem to be better at that than others.
I think it's just something about you don't want your guy to make the play, and I think that's something that you really got to take pride in as a corner, as an elite corner. You really want to take guys out the game, and when you get your chance to make a play on the ball, that's when you really want to take advantage of it. So if you can't pick it, make sure you get it down. I think that's kind of a big thing.
You seem to embrace the physical part of the game, and you're a really good tackler. Has that always been the case going back to your high school days?
No, that's not always been the case because in high school I thought I was really an elite cover guy. Really wasn't in position to really have to make a lot of tackles in high school because we played so much man coverage. So usually I would just match up with who was the best receiver. But in college, I think that's a good thing Coach Mitchell has done with me is making sure I become an elite tackler and getting guys on the ground because that was something that we felt like was something I really needed to improve on coming in because I came in around like 165 pounds. So once I got the weight and I really got confident in my game, I feel like I can make any play.
There's so much technique involved in being a very good corner. Going from high school to college, how much have you learned from Coach Mitchell when it comes to playing the proper technique at a corner position?
He gave me all the tools in the toolbox. I think everybody see the results you see I make on Saturday, but without him teaching me on throughout the week, what's coming and how my feet need to be, my stance and everything like that. I think every day he's on me really hard, and I couldn't ask for a better coach. We got a great relationship going back since high school, and he's kind of like a second father to me, and I think he does a really good job with my technique.
Pulse of the Pack is sponsored in part by Carolina Ford Dealers. See your Carolina Ford dealer, proud sponsor of NC State Athletics.
Sam, since this is your first Get Holiday Ready sales event, let me introduce you to the full lineup of Ford SUVs. Keep it festive, Morgan.
How fun.
That's Blake and Bailey. They're our Bronco experts.
Goat modes goes over any type of terrain.
And of course, Ford F-Series, best-selling trucks for 47 years. The Get Holiday Ready sales event.
Chills.
Get 1.9 for 60 plus up to $6,500 total savings on a 2024 Ford F-150 hybrid.
Mr. Wolf, you're all set. Complete perimeter protection installed and monitored 24/7.
No matter who you root for, we can all identify with the best in smart home security. CPI Security is the official security and smart home company of NC State Athletics. CPI Security. Identify yourself.
From protecting your teeth and gums, to restoring your smile, to sponsoring your local team, Tar Heel Periodontics is the premier periodontal practice of the Triangle community. Our team of highly skilled doctors provide dental care as individual as you are, working with you to build a personalized treatment plan to create the beautiful, healthy smile of your dreams. With offices conveniently located across the Triangle and Central North Carolina, you're never far from the Tar Heel Periodontics family. Visit our website or call now.
Pulse of the Pack is sponsored in part by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Brandon Cisse was with us on our radio show a couple of weeks ago out at Sports and Social. And I mentioned to him, I said, I'm really impressed with your tackling this year. It seems like you embrace the physical part of playing a position that, well, many corners don't enjoy tackling very much. And he said it's funny because when he was in high school, he never really had to tackle anybody. So it's not something that came naturally when he got here to NC State. So tell us about that process of turning him into a tackler and a guy that can play physical football at that position.
Well, my nature is linebacker based. So I played linebacker all the way up through high school, through my junior year, and then I flipped the corner my senior year after a knee injury. And we're gonna tackle, and that's just in this day and age with how offenses want to attack our defense, they're trying to put our corners in situations where it's one-on-one with the running back or one-on-one with the quarterback in some zone read schemes, and those young men are going to have to get guys down. And they don't have to be the most physical guy, but there has to be a want to.
All right, you spent a lot of time teaching the techniques of being a very good corner, but you got to have a little swag too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you try coaching swag and confidence?
Your confidence is going to come from your day-to-day preparation. Your swag is going to come from your day-to-day preparation. I tell my guys the best thing we do is practice, and don't ever take that for granted, because that's where we're going to, go from good to great faster than on game day. We've got so many reps that we can get in for the preparation, and then those reps must be game-like mentality-wise. I mean, you've got to attack each play as if I'm learning, I'm growing, that this particular play is going to help me make a play on Saturday.
What makes corners so challenging? First, you got to have physical attributes that allow you to play the position. That means you got to have speed, you got to have quick hips, you got to be able to flip your hips in man coverage. That's part of the equation. But the mental side of playing the corner position is so key. Is you got to have swag, and you got to have a lot of confidence, and you got to have a short memory, because you're going to get beat every now and then. And after you get beat, you got to turn the page and come back and play another snap and make sure they don't run by you again. But the mental toughness and discipline.
I mean, when you really think about it, like not only getting beat for a touchdown, but if you and I are in the press box and are trying to walk out the door and are trying to get out of each other's way and run into each other, that's a 15-yard penalty. And we're barely moving. And Brandon Cisse is trying to stop, Taylor Morin of Wake Forest and not touch the guy. It's an amazing skill set. A 15-yard penalty, you're on an island, right? Everybody's watching you. The flag comes out. They literally call your name out on the microphone in the stadium, right? And so that's a whole issue. It's just this very personal, individual thing. And you're right. You need to be able to shrug that off. That's hard to do.
Yeah, I always admire these young people, these student athletes, and their commitment to excellence. People have no idea how much they invested themselves into not only winning games, but to their teammates, their coaches, and their university. And that's been such a rewarding experience for me over the years doing this job.
I love what you said about sports and social being one of the really fun parts of this through the year, because it is so disarming. It's so endearing. And I think folks, if you got a chance to meet the players, especially the linemen, right?
Yeah.
6'5", 330-pound teddy bears.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Anthony Belton, we're going to miss him, moving
great.
on. He's about 350 pounds. He'll come over and stick that big mitt of his out. How's it go? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Well, I guess we should wrap it up with that. That was kind of positive vibes going, right?
That was great.
He's Chaz. I'm Tony. Thanks for listening.